Good evening, everyone. I am Lady Rabia Abdul Hakim. I am a children's author and illustrator. I was born and raised in the Cayman Islands, not far from here, and educated here in the US, and I lived for a greater part of a decade in Saudi Arabia. And today I'm going to be reading an excerpt for you from my memoir called The Promise. And it documents my story, which shaped my life. And yeah, so here it goes. I have to hold it close to me. I felt like I was standing outside myself, riveted, watching a horror scene unfold. I wanted to turn away, but like most horror scenes, I was completely engrossed in the events unraveling in front of me. My life was unraveling. It was August 2009. I was sitting cross-legged on the bed in a cheap one-bedroom suite, wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Black curls cascaded perfectly past my shoulders. My face was powdered to olive perfection, ornamented with glossy pink lips. Even in the midst of all this torment, I tried to look good. But all the makeup in the world could not conceal the sorrow in my eyes, huge cat eyes that stared painfully at my two eldest daughters, Aliyah, 14, and Maliha, 11. I had tried tirelessly to get my 6 children out of Saudi before their father made good on his threat to take them to Jordan. He had taken everything in the divorce. I went from living in a plush villa to sleeping on a friend's sofa. And now he was going to take my children. And I was terrified of what would happen to them. He was, after all, emotionally unstable and violent. Once, when I was 8 months pregnant, he kicked me right off the bed, like he was swatting a fly. And one morning, when Aliyah refused to eat her scrambled eggs, he bolted across the room and started choking her. And each time I asked him for a divorce, he would explode. He would scream that I made him like this, you made me like this, and he would start smashing things, including me. But I persevered. Finally, in 2008, he relented, but he promised that he would punish me severely. This will never, ever be over, he told me. His eyes were burning with hate, like 2 black, hot coals. Now, there was only the horror unfolding in this drab little hotel room, the horror of knowing that there was no covert team coming to get us out, knowing that my children would be taken to another country. But the most terrifying thing was knowing that they would be with a monster. For 30 days in that dreary room, we stayed. We ate oatmeal and boiled beans and bread. On day 22, he brought us 1 bag of groceries. And every day, the girls asked me, "Mommy, why won't anyone help us?" Now, as I sat cross-legged on the bed, they asked me that again. Apart from the tiny shrug that I managed, I was profoundly still. But inside I was pulling my hair. I was sobbing and screaming prayers at God. The sound was so deafening to me, I was sure they could hear. Their mouths were moving, but I couldn't focus. TV noises blared from the little sitting room next door, where my son, Mohammed, the eldest, lay sprawled on the floor. He seemed completely resigned to his fate. The smell of oatmeal hung in the air. It clung to the thin curtain over the window. Car horns blared from the traffic outside. Sun rays danced next to me on the comforter. It was one of those common brown comforters that all hotel rooms have. "Mommy, did you hear me?" Aliyah asked. I squeezed my eyes shut and sighed. "Focus," I told myself. "What, Aliyah?" "Will Sumaya remember you when she sees you again?" I looked at my chubby little baby, and a wrenching pain wrapped around my stomach. I had begged him to make me keep her, at least make me keep the baby. "No," he spat in the phone. "You want a divorce? Then I'll fix you. This is your fault. This is what happens when people get a divorce." The venom in his voice was palpable. Mommy, Aliyah repeated. Her voice brought me back to consciousness, to present time. Will she remember you? I don't know, Aliyah. I hated admitting that because I was supposed to figure this out. Mommy, Maliha said, when are you coming back? I took in her face because only God knew if or when I would see them again. So I wanted to savor her image. I tried to burn it into my brain. The light brown hair, the shiny bangs, the tiny lips, the fair skin, my own eyes. Maliha, I said. My voice shook slightly as I lifted her chin. You know Mommy has tried everything. But your dad is going to take you to Jordan. And I don't know when I'll see you all again. But you know I love you all more than anything. And I'm going to get you back, okay? She nodded but kept her eyes lowered. I turned to Aliyah then. Aliyah, you have to be strong and help take care of your little brothers and sisters. Her lips trembled. Okay, Mommy, but what about you? I smiled painfully and squeezed her hand. Don't worry about me. I'm a fighter, I said defiantly, straightening my shoulders and raising my head. And Mommy will get you out, no matter where he takes you. As I stood there watching myself, I was in awe of my own resolve. Day after day I had fought for my dreams, refusing to be cowed down. I had endured punches, kicks, and verbal and emotional torture from a 200-pound man, and my dainty frame had always fought back. A surge of power, of absolute dogged determination rushed through me like liquid fire, calling on every cell in my body to believe that I would get them back. My eyes changed then. They became hard and set, and I smiled. I'll get you back, I promise. The girls smiled then too. In 2009, my husband took my children to Jordan. In 2011, I took them back. Thank you.